Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're preparing for a job in accounts receivable or order to cash, you've clicked on the right video. Whether you're a fresher just starting out or a seasoned professional, we're diving into the most asked AR and O2C interview questions, with real-world examples. What hiring managers are really looking for, and how to answer like a pro. Let's get started. Question 1. What do you know about order to cash cycle? Interviewer expectation. They want to check your overall understanding of what the O2C cycle is and how it fits into business operations. High-level knowledge, not just definitions. Answer. Order to cash, or O2C, is basically the complete process that starts when a customer places an order and ends when the payment for that order is received and recorded. It includes order management, credit management, order fulfillment, shipping, invoicing, and accounts receivable. It's a core business cycle because it directly impacts cash flow and customer satisfaction. I see it as the backbone of any revenue-generating process. Question 2. Walk me through the end-to-end order-to-cash process. Interviewer expectation. Looking for a step-by-step explanation that reflects practical understanding, not just theory. Answer. The O2C process begins with customer onboarding and credit check. Once that's done, the customer places an order. The next step is sales order creation in the system, followed by checking product availability and confirming pricing and terms. Then comes shipping or service delivery. Once the order is fulfilled, we generate the invoice and send it to the customer. After that, we monitor payments, apply cash once received, and follow up on any overdue invoices. If the customer has any disputes or deductions, we resolve those too. Finally, everything gets reconciled in AR reports. Each step plays a role in ensuring a smooth cash inflow and customer experience. Question 3. How do you handle customer queries regarding their invoices? Interviewer expectation. The interviewer wants to evaluate your customer service skills and your ability to resolve issues effectively. Answer. When handling customer queries about invoices, I prioritize active listening to fully understand their concerns. I then review the invoice details and any relevant documentation to verify the information. If discrepancies are found, I work collaboratively with the customer to resolve the issue, whether it involves issuing a corrected invoice or providing further clarification. My goal is to ensure the customer feels valued and satisfied with the resolution. Question 4. Explain the role of credit management in O2C. Interviewer expectation. They're looking for your understanding of risk mitigation and its impact on cash flow. Answer. Credit management plays a vital role in the O2C process by assessing the creditworthiness of customers before processing orders. This step helps mitigate financial risk and ensures that the company does not extend credit to customers who may default on payment. Effective credit management involves setting credit limits, monitoring customer payment behavior, and adjusting terms as necessary to maintain healthy cash flow. Question 5. What are the main steps in the O2C cycle? Interviewer expectation. They want a concise, structured list of the key O2C stages. Answer. The main steps in the O2C cycle are: customer master setup, credit check and approval, order entry, order fulfillment shipping, billing invoicing, payment collection, cash application, dispute and deduction handling, AR reconciliation and reporting. Each step flows into the next, and delays or errors in one can affect the entire cycle. Question 6. Why is an efficient O2C process important for a business? Interviewer expectation. They want to know if you understand the business impact, not just the process. Answer. An efficient O2C process is crucial because it directly impacts cash flow, working capital, and customer satisfaction. If orders are delayed or invoicing has errors, it slows down payment and affects the company's liquidity. A well-managed O2C process means fewer disputes, faster payments, and happier customers. In short, it helps the business grow by improving both financial performance and operational efficiency. Question 7. How do you handle unapplied or unidentified payments? Interviewer expectation. They want to assess your problem-solving skills and understanding of payment reconciliation. Answer. Unapplied or unidentified payments occur when a payment cannot be matched to a specific invoice or customer account, often due to missing or incorrect information, bank errors, or currency discrepancies. My approach is to regularly reconcile payments with outstanding invoices, review remittance details, and, if necessary, promptly reach out to the customer for clarification. I also ensure that clear payment instructions are provided to customers to minimize such occurrences. Where possible, I leverage automated cash application tools to speed up matching and reduce manual errors. This proactive strategy helps maintain accurate financial records and ensures timely resolution of unapplied payment. Question 8. What are the key responsibilities of an accounts receivable function? Interviewer expectation. They want you to demonstrate a broad understanding of the AR function and its impact on financial health. Answer. The accounts receivable function is responsible for managing incoming payments and ensuring timely collections. Key responsibilities include generating and sending invoices, tracking outstanding receivables, reconciling customer accounts, following up on overdue payments, resolving payment discrepancies, and maintaining accurate financial records. The AR team also communicates with customers to address queries, manages account adjustments, and prepares reports on receivables performance. Efficient AR management is crucial for maintaining cash flow and minimizing bad debt. Question 9. What is a dunning process? Interviewer expectation. They expect you to know what dunning means and how it helps collections. Answer. The dunning process refers to the systematic way of sending reminders or notices to customers with overdue invoices. It usually starts with a gentle reminder and escalates in tone and urgency as the delay continues. Most ERP systems automate dunning by setting up dunning levels based on aging bracket. This process helps reduce DSO and ensures timely follow-up on outstanding balances without damaging customer relationships. Question 10. What is cash application in O2C? Interviewer expectation. They want to confirm that you understand how payments are matched to invoices. Answer. Cash application is the process within the order-to-cash cycle where incoming customer payments are accurately matched and applied to the corresponding outstanding invoices in the account. Receivable system. This is a crucial step for maintaining accurate financial records, as it reduces the balance of outstanding receivables and provides a clear view of which invoices have been paid. Question 11. What is the difference between a debit note and a credit note? Interviewer expectation. The interviewer wants to assess your understanding of these financial documents and their purposes. Answer. A debit note is a document issued by a buyer to a seller, indicating that the buyer has returned goods or is requesting a reduction in the amount owed due to discrepancies. It serves as a formal request for a credit. On the other hand, a credit note is issued by the seller to the buyer, acknowledging the return of goods or a reduction in the invoice amount. It effectively reduces the buyer's outstanding balance. In summary, a debit note initiates the process of returning goods or requesting a credit, while a credit note confirms that the seller has accepted the return or adjustment. Question 12. What are the key performance indicators used to measure the efficiency of the O2C process? Interviewer expectation. Looking for awareness of how performance is tracked in O2C. Answer. Some of the key KPIs for the O2C process include: Days Sales Outstanding, measures the average number of days to collect payment. Collection Effectiveness Index, tracks how effective the collections team is. Invoice Accuracy Rate, ensures correct invoices are sent, reducing dispute. Dispute Resolution Time, measures how quickly invoice-related issues are resolved. Unapplied Cash Percentage, shows how much cash is not yet matched to invoices. Customer Satisfaction, important from a service and retention perspective. Tracking these KPIs helps improve cash flow, reduce bad debts, and optimize the end-to-end O2C process. Question 13. What are the different tools and techniques used in credit analysis? Interviewer expectation. Testing your practical knowledge of tools used in credit risk evaluation. Answer. Credit analysis can involve both internal tools and external data sources. Internally, I use aging reports, customer scorecards, and payment trend analysis. Externally, I rely on credit rating agencies like Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, or Equifax to pull reports. Techniques include ratio analysis, like current ratio or debt to equity, and assessing financial statements for liquidity and solvency. Sometimes, industry benchmarks and macroeconomic trends are also considered, especially for large or high-risk accounts. Question 14. How do you determine credit limits for new and existing customers? Interviewer expectation. The interviewer wants to assess your understanding of credit risk assessment and the factors that influence credit limit decisions. Answer. To determine credit limits for new customers, I typically start by conducting a thorough credit analysis, which includes reviewing their credit history, financial statements, and payment behavior with other suppliers. I also consider industry benchmarks and economic conditions. For existing customers, I regularly review their payment history, current financial status, and any changes in their business operations. This ongoing assessment helps ensure that credit limits are appropriate and aligned with the customer's ability to pay, minimizing risk for the company. Question 15. How do you handle invoice disputes and discrepancies? Interviewer expectation. The interviewer wants to evaluate your conflict resolution skills and your approach to maintaining customer relationship. Answer. When handling invoice disputes, I first listen carefully to the customer's concerns to fully understand the issue. I then review the invoice details and any supporting documentation to verify the information. If a discrepancy is found, I communicate transparently with the customer about the next steps, whether it involves issuing a corrected invoice or providing additional clarification. Throughout the process, I ensure to keep the customer informed and involved, aiming to resolve the issue quickly while maintaining a positive relationship. Question 16. How do you reconcile AR balances? Interviewer's expectation. The interviewer is looking for your understanding of the reconciliation process and your attention to detail. Answer. To reconcile accounts receivable balances, I start by comparing the general ledger accounts with the subsidiary ledger for customer account. I review all transactions, including invoices, payments, and adjustments, to ensure they match. Any discrepancies are investigated by checking supporting documents and payment record. I also ensure that any unapplied payments or credits are addressed. Regular reconciliation helps maintain accurate financial records and provides insights into cash flow and customer payment behavior. Question 17. Based on your experience, what are the top 3 challenges companies face in their order-to-cash cycle, and how have you addressed them? Interviewer expectation. They want real-world insight and evidence of problem solving. Answer. The top 3 challenges I've seen are delayed payments, invoice disputes, and data inaccuracies. To address delayed payments, I implemented an automated dunning process with reminders at set intervals, which improved collections. For invoice disputes, I standardized the invoicing process and improved documentation, reducing errors and dispute frequency. To tackle data issues, I advocated for better integration between sales and finance systems, which helped ensure all order details were accurate from the start. These steps led to faster collections and improved customer satisfaction. Question 18. Describe your experience with any order-to-cash specific modules or software. Interviewer expectation. They want to know if you're hands-on with tools like SAP, Oracle, NetSuite, or other AR O2C platforms. Answer. I've worked primarily with SAP SD and FI modules for the O2C process. From sales order creation to billing and cash application, I've used SAP to track the full customer transaction lifecycle. For instance, I've created customer master data, monitored credit limits, and processed customer invoices using VF01. I've also used automation tools like High Radius for collections and dunning, which really helped reduce manual follow-up. In terms of reporting, I'm comfortable with generating aging reports and analyzing DSO through the system. Question 19. A customer claims they never received their order, but our records show it was delivered. How would you investigate and resolve this issue? Interviewer expectation. Looking for your ability to manage disputes professionally and logically. Answer. First, I'd review the delivery and tracking records, checking for proof of delivery, recipient signature, and delivery date. If available, I'd share that with the customer. If they still claim they didn't receive it, I'd coordinate with logistics or the carrier to verify delivery status and location. Sometimes, deliveries go to the wrong department or person. I'd also ask the customer to check internally. If the issue remains unresolved, we may consider a replacement or escalate to the claims team depending on the order value and relationship with the customer. The key is to stay calm, gather facts, and maintain trust. Question 20. In a previous role, how did you contribute to improving the day's sales outstanding? Can you quantify the impact? Interviewer expectation. They want to hear a real impact, ideally with numbers. Answer. In my last role, I noticed our DSO was around 62 days, quite high for our industry. I led a project to segment customers based on risk and payment history, allowing us to tailor our follow-up frequency and credit terms. I also worked with IT to implement automated reminders and prioritized high-value accounts. Within 6 months, we reduced DSO to 48 days. That improvement significantly boosted our monthly cash flow and gave finance more predictability. Question 21. A major customer is consistently paying invoices late, impacting our cash flow. What steps would you take? Interviewer expectation. They want to see your approach to managing credit risk and maintaining customer relationship. Answer. I would begin by reviewing the customer's payment history and credit terms to understand the pattern. Then, I'd initiate a conversation with the customer's accounts payable team to understand any challenges they face. Based on that, I might propose revised payment terms or offer incentives for early payment, such as discounts. Internally, I'd work with credit management to reassess their credit limit and possibly tighten terms if necessary. I'd also ensure our dunning process is active, sending timely reminders. The goal is to balance maintaining a good customer relationship while protecting our cash flow. Question 22. How have you handled and resolved invoice disputes or discrepancies in your previous roles? What was your approach to root cause analysis? Interviewer expectation. They want a structured, professional approach to dispute resolution. Answer. When I get a dispute, I categorize it: price mismatch, wrong quantity, damaged goods, etc. I pull the related documents: PO, invoice, delivery note, and any credit-debit note. Then, I involve the relevant department: sales for pricing, warehouse for delivery issues, or billing for invoice format. Once resolved, I close the loop with the customer and document the resolution. For root cause analysis, I track recurring dispute reasons and set up monthly reviews with cross-functional teams to prevent them. In one role, this helped cut invoice disputes by over 30% within a quarter. Question 23. In your experience, what are the key elements of effective communication with the sales team regarding order status, issues, or potential risks? Interviewer expectation. They want to see how you collaborate cross-functionally. Answer. Transparency and timing are key. I make it a point to keep sales updated on delayed payments, credit holds, or order blocks. Regular sync-ups, especially before month-end, help align on customer issues and set realistic expectations. I also share dashboards showing aging trends or disputes by customer so the sales team has visibility. In return, I stay open to their input, especially if a customer needs a temporary credit extension. Effective communication builds trust and ensures we're working toward the same revenue and service goals. Question 24. Many job descriptions mention electronic invoicing. What is your experience with e-invoicing platforms and their benefit? Interviewer expectation. They want to know if you are familiar with modern invoicing technology and its advantages. Answer. I have experience working with e-invoicing platforms like Ariba and Tungsten Network, which automate invoice generation, delivery, and tracking. The benefits include faster invoice processing, reduced errors, improved compliance with tax regulations, and better visibility into invoice status. E-invoicing also accelerates payment cycles and enhances audit readiness. In my previous role, adopting e-invoicing reduced invoice disputes by 20% and shortened the average payment cycle by several days, contributing to improved cash flow. Question 25. How have you used aging analysis and other reporting tools to effectively manage accounts receivable and identify potential bad debt? Interviewer expectation. The interviewer wants to assess your analytical skills and your ability to use data to manage accounts receivable effectively. Answer. I regularly used aging analysis to segment receivables by bucket: current, 30, 60, 90, and over 120 days. This helped me prioritize follow-ups and escalate older receivables. I also tracked DSO trends and generated exception reports that flagged high-risk customers or sudden payment delays. In one instance, I noticed a customer slipping into the 90-plus days bracket repeatedly, despite partial payment. I dug deeper and coordinated with sales to understand if there were service or invoicing issues. Once we resolved them, we agreed to a structured payment plan to recover dues and prevent bad debt. Aging analysis helps me stay ahead of potential write-offs by identifying risk early. Question 26. Describe a time you had to implement or enforce credit hold policies. How did you communicate this to the customer and what was the resolution? Interviewer expectation. They want to evaluate your communication skills, professionalism, and ability to handle tough but necessary decisions. Answer. There was a long-time customer whose outstanding balance had crossed their credit limit, and multiple invoices were over 90 days past due. As per policy, we had to place a credit hold on new orders. I reached out personally and explained the situation, backed with an aging summary and history of reminders. I emphasized that this wasn't about stopping business, but ensuring we kept things sustainable for both sides.